Hello everyone, this is Sane Bivi. Our subject is dairy chemistry and today's topic is market milk. So this is our sixth lecture. As we discussed earlier, this point is physico-chemical properties of milk. We already have discussed this point in our last lecture, that is physico-chemical properties of milk. So first point, physical state of milk. Water serves as the continuous liquid phase. Water acts as a continuous liquid phase in which other constituents or milk constituents are either dissolved or suspended over the liquid phase. Then lactose and portion of the mineral salts are found insoluble. Proteins and remaining minerals in colloidal suspension and fat as an emulsion. Lactose means milk sugar and portion of that mineral salts. There are different types of minerals which are present in milk. So that milk sugar and mineral salts are found insoluble in that milk emulsion. Protein and remaining minerals in colloidal suspension. There are proteins, milk proteins are also there, and remaining minerals in colloidal suspension and fat globule as an emulsion. So it forms emulsion. So this is major part of milk is water. It serves as a continuous liquid phase which contains dissolved suspended particles like milk sugar, then mineral salts which are insoluble in that water, then proteins, minerals and colloidal suspensions of fat molecules or globulin proteins which is as an emulsion which is suspended over in that liquid phase, or it is as a emulsion. So this is physical state of milk. Then our next point is acidity and pH of milk or chemical reactions of milk. So freshly drawn milk is amphoteric in nature, means it is the pH means to litmus, it turns red litmus blue and blue litmus red. That's why it is amphoteric when it is freshly drawn milk. However, it shows certain acidity as determined by titration. That milk shows little amount of acidity as determined by titration method with an alkali. We can use different alkalis like sodium hydroxide. By using this titration method, that milk shows, or when milk or freshly drawn milk shows acidity by titration method. In the presence of indicator, we can use phenolphthalein indicator for this sodium hydroxide or alkali titration. So that phenolphthalein indicator is convenient. This acidity is called titrable acidity. So this acidity, which is determined by titration method or by titrated with simple sodium hydroxide, simple alkali in presence of phenolphthalein indicator. So this type of acidity is titrable acidity, that is TA, as it is determined by titration. Natural or apparent acidity is caused by the presence of casein. There are second type of acidity is natural acidity or apparent type of acidity. So it is because of casein protein which is present. That casein protein is milk protein and which is unique protein, and this protein cannot synthesize in laboratory. So because of the presence of this casein protein, milk shows natural or apparent acidity. Acid, phosphate, citrate, etc., which is present in milk are also responsible for natural or apparent acidity. Next, the natural acidity of individual milk varies depending on species, breed, individuality, stages of lactation, physiological condition of the udder. What is udder? It is the parts of a female animal, especially when having more than one teat from which milk comes. Okay, so this is udder. So natural acidity of individual milk varies depending on species. First one is species, second one is breed, then individuality of that animal or that cattle, then stages of lactation, physiological condition of the udder. However, the natural acidity of fresh milk of a herd is much more uniform with variation. The higher the solid not fat, means SNF, that is solid not fat. The higher the solid not fat content in milk, the higher the natural acidity. If SNF or solid not fat is higher in milk, the natural acidity is also higher in that milk. Or first one is a natural or apparent acidity, and another one is a developed or real acidity. And the developed or real acidity is due to lactic acid which is present in that milk, or which is formed by bacterial action on lactose in the milk. Means lactic acid formed by bacterial action on lactose. So that lactose is nothing but the milk sugar. So lactose is present in that milk, and because of bacteria or by bacterial action, lactic acid, lactose converted into lactic acid, and that is why developed or real acidity is due to that lactic acid. Thus, the titrable acidity of stored milk is equal to sum of natural acidity and developed acidity. The titrable acidity is usually expressed a percentage of lactic acid. This is usually expressed as a percentage of lactic acid. Means it depends, the titrable acidity depends on percentage of lactic acid. The pH of normal, fresh, sweet milk usually varies 6.4 to 6.6. So it is slightly acidic in nature. Again, remember this thing, the pH of normal, fresh, sweet or sweet milk usually varies from 6.4 to 6.6 for cow milk, and little higher means 6.7 to 6.8 for buffalo milk. Higher pH values for fresh milk indicate udder infection. If pH is higher, which indicates there is udder infection or inflammation of the breast, and lower values or lower pH values indicates bacterial action. So if pH is higher, it indicates udder infection or inflammation of the breast of that cattle, and if the pH of milk is lower or the lower value of pH indicates bacterial action. Then our next point is density and specific gravity. What is density or specific gravity? Mass or weight per unit volume of a substance is its density. Remember again, mass per unit volume of a substance is its density, and ratio of its density to density of water is called as specific gravity. Ratio of its density to density of water is called as specific gravity or specific gravity of that particular substance. So the density of milk can be determined by using pacnometer or lactometer or densitometer. There are three devices. First one is pacnometer, then lactometer or densitometer. But we can see that lactometer in different dairies, there is a lactometer which is used to determine the density. Then milk contains water along with salt and sugar. There are salts and sugars also there in the milk. Thus milk is heavier than water because of salt and sugar which are present in that milk. The specific gravity of milk is usually expressed at 15.6 degrees centigrade. Average specific gravity of cow ranges from, it is expressed at 15.6 degrees centigrade temperature, and the average specific gravity of cow ranges from 1.028 to 1.030. This is density of cow milk, that is 1.028 to 1.030, and for buffalo milk it is 1.030 to 1.032. So the density of buffalo milk is little higher as compared to cow milk, because cow milk shows 1.0228 to 1.030 density and buffalo milk gives 1.030 to 1.032 density. The specific gravity of milk depends on the portion of its constituents. Example, its composition. Each of the constituent has a different specific gravity. The approximate values or specific gravities are: water having specific gravity is 1.1009. Then fat is 0.93, proteins has 1.346, lactose 1.666, salts 4.12, and SNF means solid not fat are 1.616. As milk fat is the highest constituent, the higher the fat content, the lower will be the specific gravity and vice versa. The higher the fat content, the lower will be the specific gravity and vice versa. If fat contents are higher, the specific gravity is lower. This is the specific gravity of buffalo milk is higher than that of cow, even though buffalo milk contains more fat than the cow milk. So this is because buffalo milk also contains more solid not fat, and the specific gravity for solid not fat is 1.61. That is why buffalo milk also contains more solid not fat. That is why buffalo milk contains more fat than the cow milk, and because that buffalo milk contains solid not fat, and which increases its specific gravity. The specific gravity of milk lowered by addition of water and cream, it is increased by removal of fat. That specific gravity lowered by addition of water and cream, and that specific gravity increased by removal of fat. Here in this chart we can see specific gravity like water, total solid, fat percentage, SNF having specific gravity 1.37, then protein, then casein, lactose, ash and whole milk. In this chart, here it is specific gravity of different milk constituents. Then the percentage of total solid or solid not fat in milk is calculated by using this formula, that is Richmond's formula for total solid. So we can calculate total solids, that is total solids, that is percentage of total solids. We can calculate percentage of total solid is equal to 0.25 D plus 1.22 F plus 0.72. So we can use this Richmond formula to calculate percentage of total solid, and that D is equal to density and F is equal to percentage of fat. D is equal to density of sample of milk. It is approximately at 20 degree centigrade, and F is equal to fat percentage of that sample. So we can calculate the percentage of total solid. This is same formula. TS is equal to percentage of total solid is equal to 0.25 D plus 1.22 F plus 0.72, and next is SNF, that is solid not fat. So we can calculate percentage of solid not fat by different formula, that is 0.25 D plus 0.22F plus 0.72, as D is equal to that 0.25 D is equal to 1000 density minus 1. So that D, small d is equal to density, and this capital D, in this formula there is a capital D, so that D is equal to 1000 into bracket D minus 1, that is density minus 1, and that small d is equal to density of sample of milk at approximately 20 degrees centigrade, and F is equal to fat percentage of that sample. So we can calculate total solid or percentage of total solid and percentage of SNF by using this formula. Okay. Then next is, our next point is color of milk. Color of food is an important aspect of their marketability. The color of the milk is an important aspect of their marketability. Color of milk ranges from yellowish cream white for cow milk to creamy white for buffalo milk. Sorry. So let us continue. Color of food is very important. It is from yellowish cream white for cow milk to creamy white for buffalo milk. So milk from which the fat has been removed, or milk which is low in fat, if that milk contains low fat or the fat has been removed from that milk, shows a bluish tint. That milk shows a little bluish tint. The white color of milk is due to the reflection of light by the dispersed fat globules. There are fat globules which are dispersed over emulsion or dispersed over the water or the main constituents of that milk. That is why that white color of milk is due to the reflection of light by the dispersed fat globule molecules, the calcium caseinate and the colloidal phosphate. That calcium caseinate and colloidal phosphates are fat globules, colloidal phosphates are dispersed over the liquid phase with fat globules, and because of this the white color of milk is because of that dispersion or the light reflection. Then the yellow color of the milk is mainly due to the presence of pigment, that is carotene. There are carotene pigment which is responsible for yellow color of the milk. As xanthophylline content is comparatively very low, it does not contribute much in yellow color. Actually, this xanthophyll pigment is also gives yellow color to that particular substance, but in milk the percentage of the xanthophyll is very low. That's why it does not contribute much in the yellow color of that milk. Then another pigment, riboflavin or lactochrome, occurs in solution in milk but is visible only in whey. When it is converted to whey, that riboflavin or lactochrome, that is visible. So the liquid part of that is the liquid part of milk left when the curds have been separated, as in making cheese or in cheese process. So in whey, to which it contributes a lightly greenish tint, that riboflavin and lactochrome in solution milk visible only in the whey form, and it contributes a slightly greenish tint, and in normal milk the riboflavin is marketed by the constituents. Then our next point is flavors or flavor of the milk. So flavor of milk is composed of smell, that is odor, and taste. The flavor of milk is a blend of the sweet taste of lactose and salty taste of minerals. There are milk sugar which is present in a milk, that milk sugar is lactose, and different types of minerals are also present in that milk. So that minerals imparts salty taste to the milk. That's why The flavor of milk is a blend of sweet taste of lactose and salty taste of minerals. So both of which are damped down by proteins. Both lactose and minerals are damped down by proteins. The phospholipids, fatty acids and fat of milk also contributes to the flavor. There are different constituents which are present in milk like phospholipids, fatty acids and fats or fats of milk which also contribute to the flavor. So change in flavor of milk occur due to type of feed, season, stage of lactation, condition of udder, sanitation during milking and subsequent handling of milk during its storage. So change in flavor, sometimes flavor get change of milk due to the type of feed, the feed which is used for cattle, then seasons, different types of seasons, then stages of lactation also depends on flavor of milk. Flavor of milk is also depends on stages of lactation, then condition of udder, then sanitization during milking or cleaning or sanitization during milking is also very important factor. So it also changes the flavor of milk, and subsequent handling of milk during storage is also very important process as it changes the flavor of milk. The sulfhydryl compounds significantly contribute to the cooked flavor of heated milk. That sulfhydryl compound gives cooked flavor of heated milk. A pronounced flavor of any kind is considered abnormal to the milk. The sources of abnormal flavor may be, sometimes it is because of bacterial growth, because of its feed of cattle, then absorbed smell. Sometimes milk is kept inside the pungent odor, the substance which having pungent odor, that's why that milk absorbed smell. Then processing and handling, the flavor of milk changes during processing and handling. Then chemical changes or chemical changes material. Then addition of foreign, there are some foreign substance or the addition of that foreign substance, the flavor of milk changes or that milk shows different flavor. Then chemical change, next one is the addition of foreign substance, and last one is a chemical composition. So chemical composition is also very important factor for its proper flavor. So all these factors like bacterial growth, feed, absorbed smell, processing and handling, chemical changes material, addition of foreign material or foreign substances, and chemical composition of that milk, all these factors are responsible for flavor of the milk. Okay, so here we already have discussed about acidity, different types of acidity, that is titrable acidity, then natural or apparent acidity, then how to calculate percentage of solid not fat and percentage of total solids, then what is specific gravity and density of milk, then color of the milk and flavor of the milk. We already discussed all these points in this chapter, so now we have to stop here. Here we have, here in this part we can see changes in milk by different microorganisms. There are different types of microorganisms which are responsible for changes in milk, like changes in its color and flavor. So all these microorganisms are responsible for that change in color and flavor of milk. So we are here we have to stop now. Okay, thank you.